First at noon, President Trump said today that U.S. officials will be talking with their Iranian counterparts next week in the wake of the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites. But questions remain about the extent of the damage to Iran's nuclear program. Erica Brown has more from Washington.
Tremendous things have been accomplished.
President Trump says the U.S. will meet with Iran next week as the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran holds for now.
We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought. Now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not.
Speaking to reporters at the NATO summit in the Netherlands, the president once again insisted that Iran's nuclear sites were destroyed.
We blew it up. It's blown up. To kingdom come.
But questions remain about how much damage the U.S. missile strikes did. An early leaked classified assessment from the Defense Intelligence Agency found the strikes may have only set back Iran's nuclear program by a few months, while an Israeli assessment found the strikes took years of Iran's nuclear capabilities. Here on Capitol Hill, senators are hoping to get more details about those U.S. strikes on Iran at a classified briefing set for Thursday.
What is the state of those facilities? What is the timeline in which Iran could try to break out and build a bomb? We have a lot of serious questions that demand serious answers, not the kind of inconsistent political spin that we've been hearing.
At the NATO summit, all but 2 member nations agreed to dramatically increase defense spending to 5% of their GDP, something President Trump had been pushing for.
I want to state here, without President Trump, this would not have happened.
The president also met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky behind closed doors. Afterward, President Trump, who has been critical of Zelensky in the past, said the Ukrainian leader is fighting a brave battle against Russia. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Here on Oahu, a man is dead after getting hit by a vehicle. HPD says it happened at around 2:45 this morning on Kahikili Highway near Aha'olelo Road. That's when the man crossed the highway and was hit. The driver reportedly fled without helping the victim, who was pronounced dead at the scene. HPD says speed does not appear to be a factor, but it's not known if drugs or alcohol were involved. This is the 38th traffic fatality this year, compared to 15 the same time last year. Now to the latest on yesterday's officer-involved shooting in Makaha. HPD says the suspect was wanted for assaulting a police officer, and officers were forced to open fire when their lives were put at risk. Dirk Kravitsky has more.
The suspect started ramming the police vehicle. This caused the police vehicle to catch on fire. Fearing for their lives, the officers discharged their firearms.
That's how HPD describes the chaotic scene Tuesday afternoon along Hana Street. Before violence erupted, HPD says around 4 p.m. they were looking for a suspect with outstanding warrants who allegedly assaulted a police officer. When they found a 37-year-old man in a stolen truck, they tried to make an arrest, but that's when police say he crashed the truck into an HPD cruiser, forcing officers to open fire. EMS says the man was struck multiple times and rushed him to Queens Medical Center in critical condition.
Resuscitation efforts were made. The suspect was transported to the Queens Medical Center. No officers are injured during this incident. At this time, we will not be taking questions.
Area residents did not want to talk on camera about the shooting, but some say the violence is not surprising due to the area's history of crime. In May, just a street away, a gang shooting left 1 person dead and 4 others injured. The suspects in that case have all pled not guilty. HPD has not identified the suspect in the Hana Street shooting, but has opened up an attempted murder on a law enforcement officer investigation. HPD says more details will be released at a press conference Wednesday morning. Derek Kravitsky, Hawaii News Now.
Still no sign of missing inmate Steve Abraham. He was reported missing from the Laumaka Work Furlough Center Monday afternoon. The 24-year-old is about 5'8" and was serving time for auto theft, assault, and drug crimes. Please call 911 if you see him. A former adult corrections officer will be sentenced for a high-profile fireworks bust back in 2022. Gilchrist Fernandez took a plea deal back in January, pleading guilty to 2 Class C felony offenses: importation of fireworks and attempted possession of fireworks. He was under investigation for having illegal fireworks mailed to the Oahu Community Correctional Center and attempting to possess the contraband while working as a corrections officer. A grand jury has indicted former Honolulu attorney Robert Chapman on 22 felony counts for an alleged fraud scheme to steal $750,000 meant for charity. Court documents say the former law firm partner got the money by forging the will of a dead client. Chapman's charges include identity theft, forgery, and unauthorized possession of confidential personal information. His arraignment is scheduled for this Thursday. And happening today on Hawaii Island, more than 700 community members have signed a petition demanding safe patient care and growing support of nurses for Queens North Hawaii Community Hospital. They are presenting the petition to the hospital leaders today. And since mid-December 2024, the nurses have repeatedly pointed out that safe nurse-to-patient ratios would mean every patient can receive the quality care they need and that nurses can do their jobs without feeling intense stress and burnout. Well, state lawmakers pressured the heads of the Public Utilities Commission yesterday to do more to bring down electric rates. As Daryl Huff reports, they also peppered him with anonymous ethics allegations.
But in this particular case, we're getting the worst of 2 worlds. We're getting unreliable power at the highest cost in the nation.
Public Utilities Chair Leo Asuncion bore the brunt of the rate frustration from senators who fear the combination of the Lahaina wildfire settlement, grid protection, and renewable incentives mean HECO will come in with big rate demands. A HECO executive was cautious.
Is it fair to assume that in that rebasing request that HECO will ask for an increase in rates?
No.
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 Okay.
Because we don't know what the numbers are yet.
Asuncion defended the commission's process, which depends on HECO coming in with a request that meets the PUC's basic criteria.
If it's affordability, put that on the table, right? Let's concentrate on that. If it's wildfire mitigation, let's put that on the table, right? What we have now is, right, 11 different things, right?
You guys are gonna get steamrolled, and as a result, consumers are gonna get steamrolled. And I base that not just on that last 100 years of actual real world results, but the last 2 years of decision making the commission has made, which has been entirely the utilities position.
The committee also made public an anonymous letter from a commission employee alleging that Asuncion bragged about having barbecues with HECO executives who were his neighbors.
You have ever attended functions hosted by executives or employees of Hawaiian Electric?
I have not.
Thank you.
Hawaiian Electric also denied that its executives hosted PUC commissioners, but the letter also said Asuncion violated personnel rules by hiring Randy Baldemore as policy branch chief. The letter said the former State and Tourism Authority executive, who paid ethics fines in 2016, knew nothing about utilities and was destroying morale.
If you have a toxic organization that cannot fulfill its mandate, that's in charge of holding the utility accountable, then what kind of faith does the public have that they're getting a fair shake here?
The head of the Commerce Department said the allegations would be investigated, but
without identification of the complainant, it makes it very open-ended, broad, and this is all we have to go on.
A PUC spokesman said they will cooperate with the investigation, but did not comment on the specific allegations. Asuncion's term as chair ends next year. Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
Aloha on this Wednesday. We're not going to get much in the way of change in terms of our weather. We'll have the trade winds blowing in at moderate speeds. We'll have some windward and mocha showers early in the morning. It is a little damper and wetter this morning than the last few days. And whatever rain comes in will be moving out quickly. Flooding not an issue. It's going to be a nice Wednesday. But again, we're going to start out a little bit wet. As the day progresses, we'll see fewer showers and more sunshine. And those winds still running firm today and tomorrow at 15 to 20 miles an hour.
Thank you, Guy. Hokulea and Hikianalia are now in French Polynesia. Mahealani Richardson filed this report on the voyaging canoe's arrival yesterday.
The canoes arrived here at Marae Taputapuatea on the island of Ra'iatea a little after 9 o'clock this morning, and there were hundreds of people here to greet them. After today's stop, the crew members of Hokulea and Hikianalia plan to sail to Papaete, Tahiti. That's where they'll have a big ceremony in the capital city of French Polynesia. Reporting from the island of Ra'iatea, I'm Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
On the Big Island, new admission fees at Hilo's Panaewa Zoo will start August 1st. However, there's a big change from the previous proposal. The county says keiki and kupuna who live on Hawaii Island will get in for free. Adults who are Hawaii County residents will pay $4 or a $25 annual pass. Now, for those who don't live on Hawaii Island, it's $12 for all adults and $5 for ages 3 to 17.
We're looking at a 50-year-old facility in a lot of places, and we have one facilities worker at the zoo, so their plate is extremely full. We'd love to get some extra hands to help with some of these things. So we're really hoping those contributions to the general fund will come back to us and help us in other ways.
Fee increases will also be phased in annually for stall rentals at the Panaewa Equestrian Center. A local nonprofit is helping Hawaii's kupuna be active and more independent. Casey Lund has the story ahead on This Is Now. Plus, scientists say climate change is turning glaciers in the Swiss Alps into Swiss cheese. We're going to explain in 2 minutes. Ahead of Independence Day, we're featuring a local nonprofit that's redefining what it means to be independent. From hot meals for our kupuna to high-quality shirts for UH athletes, Lanakila Pacific is changing lives. Casey Lund has more.
Aloha from Lanakila Pacific. You know, we come here a few times a year, it seems like, but we wanted to come here ahead of the 4th of July because as we celebrate Independence Day, that means something different to different people. And whether you're a homebound kupuna or specially abled person that needs help getting into the employment world, Lanakila Pacific can give that independence. And that's why we're so happy to be able to come down here and showcase what they do. I want to introduce James Leeds with us, Director of Kupuna Wellness.
Hello.
James, thank you for being with us today. Behind us, we see what I think most people in Hawaii would recognize from far away, these bright orange bags, these coolers that go out for the kupuna meals, for summer meals and stuff. But when we talk about kupuna wellness, it's much more than that. These are like for our homebound seniors, right?
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about kind of the overview of the program and how you engage even active seniors to keep them healthy and, as we get ready to celebrate Independence Day, independent.
Of course. So yeah, as you can see back here, this is our home delivery meal program. We service island-wide to seniors at home. But on the Kupuna wellness side, we more work with active seniors. So these are seniors that are still out in the community, looking to engage with their community, find friends and activities to do. So at Kupuna Wellness, what we try to do is create a space for seniors to come together, hang out with each other, have some fun, and just stay social, which is a very important part of healthy aging.
Absolutely, and as a mother who's, as somebody who has a mother that's just retired, me and my sister are constantly trying to think of ways to keep them engaged. Like, hey, have you checked in? And it can be as simple as connecting them with maybe an organization or group. Do you guys partner with different groups throughout the community?
Yeah, we partner at Kupuna Wellness with both public and private organizations. So, HPD, the Honolulu Fire Department come down to our program a lot to educate our seniors on important topics like fall prevention, fire prevention, public safety. We also work with folks like the library and other wellness organizations like the Alzheimer's Association, which continue to provide good content to our seniors and enrich their lives.
Yeah, from young people getting into the workforce, people with special needs, special abilities getting into the workforce, or Kupuna meals, Lanakila Pacific seems like a pretty rewarding place to work. Personally, what do you enjoy about the work that you do?
Oh, I gotta say the people, both the folks that we serve and both the folks that we work with. It's a very rewarding experience because I think the organization is very people-focused. We truly do care about our employees and the folks that we serve.
Yeah, and last question, if somebody's watching this and say they're in my shoes, they have a parent that maybe recently retired, you're a little worried they're not getting the interaction, you're not able to be there enough with them, maybe you want to try and enroll them or get them set up with you folks. How do they reach out and do that?
Yeah, I would say definitely check us out on our website. We're all over the community and different sites. Give us a call and we can see what would be a good fit for your older adults.
James Lee, thank you so much. I know you've got a busy day. We appreciate all that you do. A reminder that if you want to get in touch with Lanakila Pacific, whether it is Kupuna Wellness, Meals on Wheels, or volunteering or donating, as the political climate changes and a lot of these nonprofits in our community aren't sure where their next round of funding may come from, they always need help, whether that is either supporting them through the cafe, the bakery, things like that, buying imprinted or embroidered and screen printed items from their store upstairs. You can support them through those ways. Find out more at hawaiinewsnow.com. Just go to the As Seen on Sunrise portion of our homepage. We'll send things back into the studio for now.
Thank you, Case. A blessing ceremony marked the launch of Hawaii Food Bank Kauai's new mobile pantry. The 16-foot refrigerated vehicle is designed to expand access to nutritious groceries in rural and underserved communities. Families and individuals will get to choose the food that meets their needs, and it will make its way around the island on a regular schedule and offer items including fresh produce, proteins, dairy products, and shelf-stable goods.
It'll fill the gaps. We'll be able to reach folks in hard-to-reach areas. Kauai is very rural, right? So a lot of dirt roads, and some roads don't even have names, and some isolated communities like out on the North Shore or the West Side that a regular big old, truck cannot go.
The nonprofit says food insecurity affects 25% of households on the Garden Isle and more than 30% of keiki. Well, let's take a live look outside with our tower cam on this beautiful Aloha Wednesday. Guys, going to have your full forecast in 2 minutes.
Alert Weather with Guy Huggy.
How's it on this Wednesday? The trade wind weather pattern will continue for the next several days. We are expecting lighter winds just before the weekend, but you can see this morning it's a little wet, and these showers are moving through rather quickly, coming from the east, so they're favoring windward sides. But because we got some breezy winds out there, some of those showers will make it to some leeward locations, and those are very beneficial because of the water supply, because of the dry drought conditions out there. We'll take whatever rain we can get, and we'll get showers through the morning hours, drier by lunchtime for leeward sides especially. There will likely be a few stray showers throughout the day, but insignificant rainfall totals when you add it all up. And those trade winds will run kind of, at moderate speeds today, a little breezy at times at 15 to 20. And that'll be the case probably through Thursday. Now, heads up, we have this coastal flood statement. Possible flooding likely could occur for some south shores especially, and that's because of the high afternoon tides coupled with the, that new south swell. Granted, the south swell is on the decline. It already peaked, but still we're going to get some sizable waves for southwest, even east shores. Now, east shores, of course, are going to be choppier, and there are no significant swells coming in after that, so you got to get your surf yayas in while you can. So it is going to be very beautiful and relatively calm weather-wise. A few more showers today, fewer showers by tomorrow. And those winds, well, starting on Friday, they'll start to level off, and they'll run at light speeds all the way through the early part of next week.
Thanks, Guy. Well, Switzerland may be famous for its cheese, but scientists say it's the country's glaciers that are full of holes now as climate change makes its mark. Chapman Bell has the story.
High in the Swiss Alps, majestic glaciers are taking on an unlikely appearance. The scientists say climate change seems to be eating away at them.
It's a Swiss cheese that is getting more holes everywhere. And these holes are collapsing, and it's not good for the glacier.
The holes that resemble those in Swiss cheese are thought to be caused by air pockets in the ice. And as global warming accelerates, so does the thawing from inside. Experts fear this could add to the demise of the already receding rivers of ice. Measurements taken at Switzerland's Rhone Glacier show just how quickly they're melting.
When we drilled this stake in the last September, the ice surface was somewhere up here where my hand is, and now this is already melted.
Global warming is having other effects too. Experts believe it was at least part of the cause of last month's massive collapse at another Swiss glacier that wiped out an alpine village, causing nearly $400 million worth of damage. Back on the Rhone, this scientist says there's at least one way to save or at least slow down the shrinking of these glaciers.
Everybody can contribute on their own to reduce CO2 emissions as far as possible.
He says while it won't help immediately, it could in the long term, but the time to act is now. Chapman Bell, CBS News, London.
Still to come, a new satellite is giving us a color-coded view of planet Earth. The snapshots from space you need to see in 2 minutes. right, time for some good news now. An out-of-this-world high-tech tool will be used by scientists to study our planet, and they're giving us a first look at the incredible images being sent back. Patrick Cornell has the story.
Brand new snapshots from space give us a creatively color-coded look at one of Earth's essential elements. The European Space Agency's freshly launched biomass satellite is tasked with studying carbon storage in some of the world's most remote locations. Its first set of test pics give us a glimpse of what to expect. Vibrant hues show off Bolivia, with green revealing rainforests, red forested floodplains and wetlands, blue-purple grasslands. The satellite's P-band synthetic aperture radar can also cut through deserts, such as this one in Chad, to detect subsurface features like the remains of ancient riverbeds and lakes, or give us a cool new topographic overview of volcanoes in Indonesia. The satellite is still being fine-tuned while in orbit, and scientists say once it's fully up to speed, it will provide crucial data on carbon storage, climate change, and the health of Earth's forest ecosystems. Back here on Earth, these ornery animals are back where they belong, but with big, full bellies. Wildwood Devon, a zoo in the UK, says the sticky situation started when 5-year-old brown bears Mish and Lucy escaped their enclosure. They darted straight towards a humongous selection of snacks, including slurping down a full week's worth of honey. Typical. These bears, potentially long-lost cousins of Winnie the Pooh, who will also go to great lengths to get a small smackerel of honey. Caught sticky-handed, both happy bears promptly returned to their den and passed out. Wildwood later saying it's happy for this tale and the, quote, smiles it brought to many faces, human and bear. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Thank you so much for watching This Is Now. We're going to have much more headlines first at 4 right here on KHNL. Aloha.